Hello my dear students, once again welcome to your online class. Today we will be completing the last part of your second chapter, that is the work, energy and the power. And today we will learn how to find the expression for the potential energy, kinetic energy, and we will also try to establish the relationship between the linear momentum and the kinetic energy, and finally we will prove that for a freely falling body the sum of its potential energy and the kinetic energy remains constant throughout its motion. So beginning with the potential energy, which is given by the symbol U, we'll try to derive the expression for the potential energy. So what is potential energy is like, if you are asked to find or the measure of the potential energy, then it is equal to the amount of work done in taking that body to a given height. So what do? I consider a body of mass m. Okay, so now I take this object to the height of h. Okay, so in this whatever amount of work you are doing, that will be equal to the potential energy. So the potential energy U is equals to work done in taking a body to a given height. Okay, so this will be equals to work done is equals to the force into displacement, which we have already learned in our previous classes. So here the force, what is the force here? Since the force is given by force equals to m into a from the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, so here what is a? A is the acceleration, and here in this case the acceleration is the acceleration due to gravity. So therefore I can write F is equals to m into g. So simply I replace this F with m into g into s. Now what is the displacement here? The body from A, when it is taken to B, I already mentioned that the height was h. So I replace this displacement with h. So therefore I get U is equals to m, g and h. Okay, so this is the expression for the potential energy. So the potential energy is the product of mass into acceleration due to gravity and into the height. So you see that it's very easy to find the expression for the potential energy. Now the next we'll try to find out the expression for the kinetic energy. Now the second part, coming to the expression for the kinetic energy. So from the definition, the kinetic energy is equal to the work done in stopping a moving body. So for that I consider a body of mass m moving with the initial velocity u. Okay, so it's moving with the velocity u. Now I apply a retarding force F, such that the retardation produced is a. So a here is the retardation, not the acceleration. Okay, and finally our body comes to rest, and that means the v, the final velocity, is equals to 0. Now on doing so, let a body covers a distance s. That means s is the distance covered when our body is retarding and finally it comes to rest. So from the definition, the kinetic energy is equal to the work done by retarding force. Force in bringing a body to rest. Okay, so I have K is equals to, now the formula of work done is the force into the displacement. So I'll keep it at equation 1. Now what will I do? I'll substitute the value of F and I'll find the value of S and then put in the given equation. So now since I know that from the three equations of motion, I have that v square is equals to uv square plus 2as. What is a here? A is the acceleration, but here I have considered a as the retardation. So therefore in this case v, what is the final velocity? It will be 0, will be equals to initial velocity is u square. Now instead of plus I'll write minus here, because a here is the acceleration but a here is the retardation, and we know that the acceleration is just the negative of retardation. So now I write 2as. Okay, so simply I can write this one as u or 2as equals to u square, or this implies that u square will be equals to, sorry, I need the value of s. So s will be equals to u square divided by 2a. Okay, so let this be equation 2. Now also I have from the Newton's second law, the force is equals to mass into acceleration. Let this be equation 3. Now what will I do? I'll substitute the value of S and F in equation 1. So therefore finally I get substituting the values of equation 2 and 3 in 1. So finally I'll get K is equal to, now F means it is mass into acceleration into S, here it is u square divided by 2a. So a and a it get cancelled. So therefore K is equals to half mu square. Okay, so u here is just the expression or symbol. Okay, u is the velocity. So you can write K is equals to half mv square. So that is how we derive the expression for the kinetic energy. Now the next important topic is you need to find the relationship between these K and, so now I'll just do it here. So K and P. Okay, so what is P is? The P is the linear momentum. Okay, so let us try to find the relationship between the kinetic energy and the linear momentum. So now we know that the linear momentum P is equals to the linear momentum is the product of mass into velocity, m into v. Let this be equation 1. And I also got that the kinetic energy is equals to half of mv square. Okay, so let this be equation 2. Okay, so now to find the relationship between the the linear momentum and the kinetic energy, what will I do? I'll simply find the value of v from here. So v is equals to p divided by m. Okay, so now these I'll substitute in the expression of kinetic energy. So therefore now I get K will be equals to half of m. Now what is v? V is p by m. So instead of this v, I'll write p divided by m whole square, or K is equals to half of m p square divided by m square. So this square and m gets cancelled. Okay, so finally I have, this implies that K will be equals to half p square divided by m. Okay, so you can write this one in the simplified form. Like what can I do? This implies that what will I do? I'll simply write p square is equals to 2k into m. So this gives the relationship between the linear momentum and the kinetic energy. Or you can also do the under root of this side, and p is equals to under root of 2km. So that is how we can find the relationship between K and P. These three derivations are very important because it's there in the syllabus, and in your board exams you may be asked to find the expression for each of them. So now we have the last derivation which is there in the syllabus. So that is, you need to prove that the sum of the mechanical energy, that is the kinetic energy, and the potential energy for a freely falling body always remains constant. So for that I consider a body of mass m. Okay, so at a height, so this is the ground level, so I consider it to be at a height of h. Okay, so let the height be h. So this is at A, and I consider another position B and then C. Okay, so this body is allowed to fall freely under the gravity such that at certain instant it reaches the point B and finally it reaches the point C. So let the distance, the fall of distance from A to B be x. So therefore what will be the distance from B to C? Since the total is h and from here to here it is x, so therefore this distance will simply be h minus x. So I also consider that let here, what is the velocity here? The u is equals to already 0 because our body is at rest, and then so let the velocity here be v1, and finally just before object touches the ground, let the velocity be v. Okay, so let the final velocity be v. So I'll try to find the kinetic energy and the potential energy at each of the point A, B and C. So we'll start from A. So at A. So at A. So first U is equals to, now what is the potential energy? We derived already in the first part of this video. So U is equals to simply m, g and h. Okay, so h is the height, g is the acceleration due to gravity. Now the kinetic energy here, since the body is at rest, so kinetic energy simply is 0. So therefore the total kinetic energy, so total energy, so E will be equals to U plus K. Okay, so this implies that E will be equals to mgh plus 0, or this implies that E is equals to mg and h. So we see that at point A, the sum of the potential energy and kinetic energy is mg and h. So now we'll try to find the same at a position B. So at B. Okay, so at B now the potential energy U will be equals to mg, and now instead of h, what is the height left now? It is h minus x. Okay, so that is the height of the body. So or U will be equals to mgh minus mg and x. So now I'll try to find the expression of kinetic energy at B. So at B, the kinetic energy will be equals to half of mv. Here V is replaced by V1 square. Now what will I do is I'll try to find the expression for V1 and replace in the given equation of kinetic energy. Now since from the three equations of motion, we have that the V square is equals to uv square plus 2as. Okay, so this implies that V square, here final velocity is V1, so I'll replace it by V1 square will be equals to the initial velocity here was 0 plus 2a here can be replaced with the acceleration due to gravity g, and s here can be replaced with the displacement, so that is x. Okay, so V1 square will be equals to 2g and x. So I'll substitute this value in the expression of kinetic energy here. So and then, so I'll continue it here. So now I'll get the K will be equals to half of m. Now in place of V1 square, I'll write 2gx. So these 2 and 2 get cancelled. So K will be equals to mg and x. Now therefore the total energy E is equals to U plus K. So U here is how much? Here from these I get U is mgh minus mgx plus the kinetic energy is mg and x. So these two cancels. So therefore E is equals to U, or E will be equals to simply mg and h. Okay. So we see that the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy at B is also equal to mg and h, which was in the position A also, that is mg and h. So one more we'll try to find at the position C. So now at C, okay, so U will be equals to, now since there is no displacement here, it is the height is 0, so the potential energy turns out to be 0 simply. So now we'll try to find the expression for the potential energy, kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is equals to half of m. So what is the velocity here? Simply v square. Again I will find the value of v and substitute in the expression of kinetic energy. So now since v square is equals to u square plus 2, what was there? V square is equal to 2as. Okay. So this implies that v square will be equals to the initial velocity was again the 0 plus 2. Now instead of a I'll write g, and now s, the total distance covered is now h. Okay. So therefore v square will be equals to 2g and h. So I'll substitute this value here. So K will be equals to half of m into 2g and h. So 2 and 2 get cancelled, and K will be equals to half of mg, or not half, simply it is mg and h. So E will be equals to u plus K, or this implies that what is u here? U is 0 plus K is mg and h. So therefore the sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy at C is also mg and h. So when I look at these three equations, the equation A, the equation B and the equation C, we see that everywhere the sum of the potential energy and the kinetic energy for a freely falling body always remains constant. Okay, so this question is very important, this derivation is very important from your examination point of view. Almost in all of your ICSE exams, you are asked to derive or prove that for a freely falling body, the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy always remains constant. So that was everything in your second chapter, work, energy and power. A small topic is left, that is the that is the energy transformation taking place in the various device. So you will be asked about what energy changes takes place in a fan. So in a fan, the energy conversion taking place is from the electrical energy to mechanical energy. You will be asked what energy changes takes place in a microphone. Okay, so in a microphone the sound energy is converted into the electrical energy. So such types of questions will be coming in your board examinations and as well as other examinations. So this was everything in your second chapter. So please students, go through the chapters in detail, and you may also solve the numericals and the questions that are given at the end of your chapter, and I'll also send you the solutions of few of the questions of your book. Thank you.